Kustoo's back. Tell a friend. Let's do it. Welcome back to the Swoosh Life Podcast, episode 62 and episode 2 of season 4. We're rocking it, and we're back, and we got a very special guest, Mr. Jacques Slade, in the house, also known as Kustoo on everything, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. Welcome back, sir. Glad to have you back. And guys, we have lots to talk about, lots to cover, and this is going to be an episode for the record books. How are we doing out there?
I'm doing good. I'm really impressed. I got to say, Jacques, you kicked off our season last year. Like, I think once everybody saw that Kustoo was on the Swoosh Life Podcast, everybody wanted to be on there. So I really appreciate you. And you are representative of the entire sneaker community and everything you're doing for golf. So I'm super excited. We'll kick it to Keith and then Jacques. Let you talk about last few weeks, what you've been up to.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Jacques, welcome back. Finally hit 60 degrees in Connecticut today, and I swung for the first time since November. And I'll let you know in the morning. I'll send you guys a text if I can get out of bed, because that's how the back is going to be. But
yeah,
it's going to be like this for the next week and a half here. And I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I really don't.
It's 70 in Syracuse, and I was in a basketball game all night. So that wasn't very fair, unfortunately. But we're here now. It's going to be great. Chuck, how you been? What's been going on?
I've been good. No complaints really. Just living life. Just trying to keep the sneaker thing going, trying to keep the golf thing growing, and everything in between those two spaces. Trying to be involved in everything in between those two spaces, to be honest.
I hope you didn't turn around the hat because you're trying to hide the Malbon. You don't have to hide the Malbon.
No, I just turned it around just because I don't know.
He's watching me.
I do have the Malbon. I have the Malbon there. I've been a huge fan of Malbon. We're going to talk some Malbon a little bit, but for return guests, we do a little modified version of 3-2-1. So because you are our window to the rest of the sneaker world outside of Nike, I just can't wait to hear 3-2-1. Number 3. What are your 3 favorite sneakers right now that everybody in the golfing world should know about off the course?
Off the course, I think the AE1 from Adidas. They're doing a terrific job with Anthony Edwards and his new signature shoe. Just Adidas in general, their whole basketball division has a new, let's call it design language, and it's working really well for them right now. A lot of basketball shoes felt stagnant for a while, so it's really exciting to see Adidas kind of come out of the gate in 23 and late 23 and this year and really have some more energy and have some energy in the space. So I think that's fantastic. Who else? If we're keeping with the basketball train, Anta with the Kai one. I shouldn't call it the Kyrie one, the Kai one.
Kai one, shoe of the moment.
Yeah, it's the shoe of the moment. And it looks fantastic. It's very in line with what I think I would have expected from him from Nike. But I think this one has a little more personality. It really feels like a Kyrie shoe from what I've seen so far. I haven't had a pair in hand yet. That should be happening relatively soon. So kudos to them for that. And then what's the third thing that's hold on, let me look around. I would say probably New Balance, like the 550. I feel like the 550 still has a lot of great energy behind it, and they've been doing some really great kind of off the wall colorways with the 550. So if you don't want a pair of Dunks, I think you can get away with a pair of 550s and really put together a really nice outfit that people will respect and love.
And New Balance just reporting over 20% growth last year. So for all the things that they might be misstepping with Zach LaVine and Kawhi Leonard, they're doing some really good stuff off the course, and they've been a classic. So number 2 and 3-2-1, what are your 2 favorite golf shoes in your rotation right now?
Right now, my 2 favorite golf shoes, I've been playing the most in the Samba and the Puma Slipstream. Those are probably my 2 favorites right now.
And what I'd love to know, last one before we kick into Sunday Red and we get into the hot topic, what's your favorite thing in your golf bag right now? This could be a club that you're really swinging well. It could be your favorite ball marker. It could be the bag itself. What is something in your bag that you're really vibing with right now?
That I'm vibing with right now. I would say there's two things. And I feel bad that I don't remember his name. I played with a guy at the Hype Golf tournament, and he made a custom divot tool out of like an old like hickory stick and just like a little pointer. And so it's only about that long, and the hickory portion is only about that big. But it's like this really cool like divot tool. Every time I kind of pull it out, people are like, "Oh, kind of what's that? That's a cool divot tool." That and what else am I digging that's in my golf bag right now? Probably alignment sticks. Probably my alignment sticks. Those are like from a very selfish, I need to get better angle. My alignment sticks are probably the coolest thing in my bag. Or they should be.
Who do you have? Do you have like bubble whips, or what kind of alignment sticks do you have?
Oh, I just have some
Just
basic
regular.
random
He's
ones.
got
that I
Home
got from
Depot painter
Amazon.
sticks.
Yeah,
I
the
know.
ones
Yeah,
that-
that's
the ones
what
that
I
come
got.
apart,
Oh,
they're smaller. Yeah. Just
I like
those,
those.
just because I wanted to be able to stick them in the side of my bag and not stick them inside the bag. I wanted to stick them inside of the side pocket. So I bought the ones that are detachable, but they're not as straight. They kind of have a little little gap to them with where they connect. So I'll blame that.
you
on
start
the reason
working on
why
that
I'm
arc.
saying left
You
or
just start
right.
working on that arc a little bit.
Yeah.
I
It's
love
helping my art. My art. So that's what it is. Yeah.
That's great. Very good. Nothing Nike there, which is okay. You're a man of all sneaker culture, which I think is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
But
But
would
you do
say-
it.
Anybody has
Reimagined Fours came out though too,
Huh?
and I think that was one of Reimagined Fours came out.
Yes,
For
and they're
Jordan
great. They're
4s,
fantastic.
and
I love
I
them.
think that was one of your favorite shoes, if I recall.
Yes,
Last episode that you're on.
yeah, the
So,
Fours is one of my favorite
go, man.
shoes, and the reimagined. I actually like the leather probably more than I like the nubuck. I feel like the leather's going to hold up longer,
Yeah,
and it'll wear more like a Jordan 3 will wear, as opposed to the way that a nubuck or suede would wear. So I think I'm going to like that, especially when they start to crease a little bit. It'll look a lot nicer. So I have the military. I just have these here since they're so close. They're close enough.
Just
So I
have
have
it
this
close by.
So much within arm's reach.
Yeah, so like you can see these how like they've creased a little bit, and so like and these were like from maybe 2 years ago, and so like I just feel like once they get to this point, like that's when it's gonna be really great. Like I can't wait till they get to this like worn, kind of like nicely worn in feel. I think that's when it's gonna really
Now is that
great.
one leather or is it the Durabuck? Because there was that discussion about how the original fours were actually not nubuck, they were Durabuck, which was like a pleather nubuck.
Yeah,
combo,
so that one's
right?
leather. That pair is leather. That's from I think maybe 17 or 18 or something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Gumby, ask away. Ask the Sunday Red questions. We can't wait.
All right. So,
but I do want to preface this by saying you guys might be saying, hey, you know what? Not a lot of Nike answers. I think that's just telling of the state of what Nike is at right now, which we'll get into in a little bit.
That's
So go ahead, Gums.
That's a different conversation.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Jack got to attend the Sunday Red launch party out there, and he was. I was watching his live. I think Keith was also watching his live. No one could watch Riggs's live because he couldn't hold his hand up. And then Jordan was there. Our friend Jordan Rogers was there as well. And just like Kustoo was on shouting out when Jordan got a shout out, we were too. So how was it? How was, the whole experience of going to the Sunday Red thing? Obviously it's top notch when it's Tiger and TaylorMade. Obviously it's a little bit like under wraps, everything.
Yeah.
But then you kind of got to touch and feel these items as well. And we haven't yet, and we won't, right? It's DTC, it's direct to consumer. So give us your overall impressions of the event and then the products as well, if you can.
So the event was very much a golf style event. Very classy part of Pacific Palisades. Very nice place. It was the kind of place where I felt like I probably shouldn't be here, kind of thing. It was too nice for me to be here. I don't want to touch anything. I don't want to break anything, kind of thing. I don't know if you've seen sneaker events. It kind of felt a little bit like that, where they have all the product with like top down lighting that looks great, but it doesn't make for great photos kind of thing. So like that's always something that I take issue with. I really wish
washes it out, right?
Yeah, I wish brands would be more like Apple in the way that they present products and they show products to people, because it would look a lot better to the audience, I think, and it would make the audience get a better idea of what the things look like. But the event was great. I knew a couple of people, like Will was there, Jordan was there, Land Force was there. Who else was there? Ube was there. So there was a couple of people I knew.
Ube just followed us, by the way, on Instagram too. So, and
he should.
He's done some cool stuff with my buddy Cavi as well. So that's
Ube is dope. I tell people all the time, like Ube is like one of the dopest people in the golf space. I mean, he's a dope cinematographer, period. Yeah. But he is absolutely murdering it when it comes to golf videos and golf content. His storytelling is second to none, and the way he frames up shots is just amazing. Like I envy, like I watch his stuff, like I need to learn how to do this better. Yeah. So shout out to Ube. But the rest of it was a bunch of golf people that I didn't really know. Even though I'm in the golf space, I don't know a lot of people face to face. Like I may follow them online, but they're not, I haven't done enough where they're familiar with me and familiar with my work. So it's always like a weird thing. Like even with Riggs, like he was like holding his camera up and, struggling to it. And I was like, yo, just come sit down next to me, like towards the end. And that's like, it'll make it a lot easier for you. So you don't have to sit up and hold your arms up all for the whole thing. But like, that's the first time I met him was there. And like, we talked and, said hellos and all of those things. And, I gave him a bar about what the stuff that they're doing and how I think it could be better and more inclusive and stuff like that. And then, but overall it was great. We didn't get to touch or feel Tiger, if that it was really much like Tiger on stage, far away from everybody, with Aaron Andrews and the CEO, David. And, they did their Q&A and like Tiger came and went. It was like, Tiger, ladies and gentlemen. And then it was over and it was like
Elvis.
Tiger's gone.
Magic show. Just a magic show. How is the product? Because I think like for someone like me, who's a bigger guy, I have my concerns about it because I can't touch and feel, right? And I can't know if it is like with Nike stuff, ADV is not stretchy. It's like air holes and stuff like that. So it's breathable. But there's no give to it. Whereas then some of the new like Victory line and some of the Tour line is stretchy and it's movable. So I know that I can tuck it in, right? Like I can get bigger stuff. And I have no idea what the size range is going to be. I have no idea what the price range is going to be. So it's going to be hard for me as a consumer doing direct to consumer to go purchase products because I'm not sure what it's like. So what is it like? Like polo wise, I can kind of figure out between the sweatshirts and other stuff like what it's going to be. T-shirts and sweatshirts kind of don't really change, right? Yeah. But polo wise, do you have a comp to what it is like, or?
So I have, so there's a mix. There are some that aren't stretchy, and there's some that are stretchy. It felt like a lot of the product was kind of like almost like samples kind of stuff. So I don't know if the stuff that I had my hands on is going to be the final product. Some of it was stretchy, but like they weren't named kind of thing. It was just product on the wall. They didn't have like, oh, this is the Sunday red Sunday polo. This is the Sunday red off course polo. There was like none of that. It was just like polos on the wall kind of thing. Some of them were stretchy, some were really thin, some had a little thicker material. It definitely felt quality. I think they're focused on making sure that everything is of a high quality, especially when it comes to the polos. And there's a couple of them that I would wear. Some of the patterns just felt too like golf bro-y for me. Just to be fair, but
you mean the camo one?
Yeah, like the camo one. Yeah, it feels a little more golf bro-y than I'm prepared to style, which is great. There's a whole audience for that, and like that is part of I think what people are trying to figure out with the line is who exactly is it for, because Tiger has a very dedicated audience, obviously, and I don't know if the line was meant to sell to people like us that kind of bridge the gap. You know what I mean? Because we're golfers, yes, and we're hardcore golfers in a sense, but we're also a little more, I would say, stylish than your average golfer, and we dress a little differently and like different cuts than your average golfer. And so I'm not sure that the line is necessarily cut for us as it is more for the hardcore performance golfer kind of thing. And that's where it feels like it's being marketed, at least at the moment, and from the way that it was presented, with it being like Tiger being like, this is stuff that I'm improving, and it's based on performance and me being able to swing and me being able to move, and there's no seams. Like, all those things are like performance technical things, which don't necessarily translate sometimes to style sort of things.
So it feels more Peter Millar than Grayson, or because that's the price range that's the price range vibes I'm getting from what you're putting down.
I think it's definitely. So what's a Peter Millar polo? I don't.
Bigger fit, baggy fit.
I don't think it's going to be bigger, baggy fit. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a little tighter fit. I definitely think it's going to be a little tighter fit, just because. As you saw on stage,
I think Peter Millar 50 and up, right? Like 50 and up, Peter Millar. 50 and below, in shape people, more Ralph Lauren X RLX type is great.
Yeah. I feel it's gonna be like fitted. Like, I mean, because you saw Tiger, he had the cashmere thing on, came out looking like The Rock. I was like, bro, what are you?
A gorgeous piece. That piece is awesome.
Yeah, I was like, they're lucky at it. My question was literally going to be like, first off, bro, like, I don't know if you've been to jail or not, but your arms are massive right now. Like, I don't know what you've been doing.
That's all he can do, because the rest of the body is broken.
Yeah. I was like, bro, you've been on the bench press for real.
Yeah, man.
So I think it's going to be that. Like, I think that's the fit for more athletic bodies. I think is what it's built for. But they still have the stretchy stuff. Like, I'm gonna grab I have the hoodie here. Hold on.
Ooh, is this the cashmere hoodie?
No, not the cashmere.
I think this is just Tiger.
Because I feel like that thing was gonna be
black one.
Yeah, that.
I like the black one, and I like the loop style. Like, I think that loop style is different. One.
So that's a must-have. That's a must-have for me. Is that one? I was gonna ask you, Jacques, what was your favorite item in the goodie bag, but I like this one that you're about to show.
Yeah. So they gave us
for everybody watching on YouTube.
They gave us two pieces. This is the, I guess, lounge short, I guess is what it's called. So
I saw this with Land Force.
Okay, this is controversial here.
Lounge short. So this is more like a casual kind of short. Just has the Sunday red down here and stitching. I don't know if you guys can see that.
So this piece looks awesome, but the thing that concerns me, Jacques, is he's been wearing the TW practice short from 2012. Every time we see him in shorts. So is he going to switch over? But that looks nice.
This is like a sweat shorts, like sweatpants material, and I doubt he wears this. But like, this is great. Like, these kind of details.
The little touch.
Yeah, the little touch of red. Like,
red
that's
line.
really great. Like, high quality laces. Like, that's always really great. Like, that kind of stuff is really, really nice. Where it's like kind of high quality there. Stitching is really nicely done. Like, this is like a high quality pair. It has just like the logo there on the back.
That's a square SDR with the
square SDR.
Are you sold on the SDR?
I'm not a fan of that SDR with the Tiger lockup. I don't like that lockup as much as I like just the Tiger or just the Sunday red. But
I think we all agree on that one.
It's not my brand. So and then we need
a Kustoo brand.
The big Tiger embroidered logo.
Yeah.
And again, just the details like this, where it has Sunday red. So I don't know if you see that. The Sunday red on the laces, which is a great touch. Then they have like Sunday red going down the side there and like embroidered in. And again, with the red detailing. So I think that's kind of going to be their thing, just like that little touch. And it makes it definitely feel premium. It's a nice material. It's stretchy, so you have that going on, and I think it's well done. Like, they did they did a good job on those pieces that we got. We got gloves as well, and then like a ball marker. I think people got towels too, but they messed up on the box that they sent me. And literally all it had was the ball marker in there. So I didn't get the rest of the stuff that everybody else got, unfortunately.
So the only miss I think that there was when he goes to play at the Genesis, he's got the sweater on, and it's not that hoodie. He doesn't have the big ass tiger. Like, he should have just came out like Superman with a bit. I was talking to Lauren about this. Shout out to Lauren. I would have just loved like a big old tiger logo, like right across the chest. That would have been great. So my question for you is, I look, it's tailor-made. They're going to get it right. They haven't been in the apparel game. They used to be owned by Adidas. I feel like eventually they'll get designers and they'll get stuff to make this feel right. My question is, do you think this has legs to go past Tiger's playing career?
Past his playing career? I think that all depends on how things play out, I think, over the next couple of years. I think that what we see from the brand over the next few years will determine what the longevity is. I honestly don't feel like I could make an accurate prediction based on just what we've seen so far. They're obviously going DTC, which is great for them just because they can control the amount that they're making and minimize losses. So it doesn't this is not something you want to see end up in Ross or end up in TJ Maxx within that first year. They want to keep this, I imagine they want to keep this limited, want to keep it premium for the first couple of years, and then start to slowly grow out until they can show up at the PGA show and have salesmen out coming to buy pieces for the pro shop. So for these first few years, it's definitely going to be a DTC thing.
Oh, so you don't think any clubs next year? You think it'll just be DTC?
I think it's going to be DTC for the foreseeable future. I mean, unless it just does gangbusters out of the gate, which I can't say that I feel that sort of energy. Then I would say it'd probably be a year or two before we start to see it in clubs. But again, that kind of just depends on how this first DTC goes and the pricing. I do feel like it's going to be expensive.
Yeah. We said nothing south of 120 here for a polo.
Yeah,
pretty much. I think that they're onto something. I texted Keith this when he came out in the homage back to '92, when in the polo. And I said if they are going to hit, if they have any traction, it's going to be recreating old looks in a new stylish form. Yeah. If he comes out at the Players in a couple weeks and he's rocking that peach big white stripe from his third amateur, and he comes out rocking that thing, you might have something, right? Because you can hearken to big moments of his and then capture on that.
Yeah.
And they did that in '92, and you don't know what we were going to see on Saturday because they didn't get to play Saturday. We don't know if there was a different red polo for Sunday than what we saw at the unveilings. So unfortunately, we have to wait. But I think that there is something there. Ollie is obviously doing stuff with him through TaylorMade, and you never know. TaylorMade could also flex their muscle and carve out a little of their space too in something like a Dick's or a Golf Galaxy or a PGA Superstore to be like, hey, here's just a little bit, put this up, please. Especially if we need to keep pumping it, he has the TaylorMade muscle now to do other things with it, I think too, which is interesting.
Yeah, he has the benefit of their distribution, basically all across the country. And how that develops, I think I still believe it's going to depend on how these first couple of May 1st. Yeah. Once see how things go May 1st.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, especially with pricing and everything. I kept getting the feeling like if they did a full range, like a 120 polo and an $80 and even a $60 polo, I think you'd get a lot of Father's Day gifts. I think they could really crush it. But again, what was the timeline? That's the other thing. A lot of folks, including yourself, are saying, it feels a little rushed. So maybe Nike was in it till the last minute. Moving on to another Nike player in the news, Rory was just blasted by Taylor Gooch, saying apparently Rory's the favorite to win the Masters every year because already Taylor Gooch is sending shots. You made a wonderful video on Instagram, which I'm spoiler alert, I agree with. How do you feel about the live folks and the majors?
I think that when they signed to go to live, they knew that the majors weren't going to be a thing. Now they could hope that it would change, but I think they were pretty. I mean, with the exception of like maybe like those first guys that went before, it was kind of like, all right, if you go, like you're not playing, and even those guys, they kind of knew like if you go, like you're kind of you're knocking yourself out of the world golf rankings. You're not going to be invited to the majors, like all of those things. I feel like that's why you got paid so much money. Like you have to be like, don't come back now and be like, oh, but bro, come on. Like I get it. Like it's like this is like Taylor Gooch is like expressing like FOMO at like the highest level. But bro, you can't have FOMO if you've got whatever 10, 15, whatever how many millions of dollars you got. Like that's why you took that money to cure the FOMO. That money
So I looked it up.
Your FOMO cure.
So I looked it up, and I said this when Rom went over, right? He won 18. So Taylor Gooch won $18 million last year just by the 3 wins and being the points leader for live. He won $18 million alone with his 3 wins. Plus, I believe he got another $18 million bonus. So we're talking 36 mil. That's how much Jordan made in the 90s, by the way, in 1 year, his max contract. So he made around 36 million. Do you know what the winner of the Masters gets? 3.5.
2.1. Yeah, I was gonna say like
something like that.
Mexico this week was 1.5 or something. You know what I mean? Like it was. Yeah, I think he wasn't Taylor also the one saying that live, like the first live experience of him winning a team championship was better than the Ryder Cup? Wasn't he the one also quoted on saying that?
Did he say that?
Yeah.
One of the live guys did.
I think I'm pretty sure it was Taylor too. He's on Smash, and if I'm going to pick a live team, it's Smash because of Brooks. So whatever. But I mean, you're right. It's just FOMO. It's just it wouldn't have been an asterisk last year without them there. You know what I mean? Like so. And right. Brooks is still there. Rom is still there.
They're still getting invites for all this stuff for the Masters, and
Neiman is there. He got a special invite. You know, so
there's like so many layers to this conversation. Yeah. It's like, so does that mean every time you won on live that all those get an asterisk because all the players that are in the PGA Tour aren't playing against you? So does that mean none of those really count?
Like, we're clipping that one. We're clipping that one for the game.
Like, does that mean the 2 years that Jordan decided to play baseball, that those NBA teams that won the championships those years, so do those no longer count because Jordan wasn't playing? Like, are we going to take away some of Sam Snead's wins because the black golfers couldn't play?
Event?
Charlie Sifford and all those guys couldn't play. Does that mean those don't count now? So like, where's the line, Taylor? Like, if Taylor, show me where the line is, so we can determine what exactly counts as a win and what doesn't. Like, circumstances play into it, and that's just how things are. Like, you decide, you made a choice to go to live. Like, no one forced you to go to live. No one made you. There was no one holding a gun to your head. You decided to go there knowing that you would not be able to play in majors, that you probably wouldn't get invited to Masters, that you probably wouldn't be able to play in the Ryder Cup, that you probably wouldn't be able to do to all those things. And as part of those probablys, you were like, well, if I'm not going to be able to do all these things that I've always wanted to do.
Right.
Yeah. And that's your choice. And I'm not faulting him for that choice. Go with God. That's your thing. But I'm not faulting you for that. But then don't try to come back and try to change
something. I mean, Rom's interview with Marty Smith this past week was telling on why he left. He chose less playing time, generational wealth, all that stuff. But then he's like saying Tiger ghosted him. Yeah, Tiger's entity is the PGA Tour and what that means. I don't. Not like you had a real great relationship. You were in Phil's camp. Let's not remember it like Rom, like with Tim being your golf coach at Arizona State. Like, you've never really had this unbelievable relationship with Tiger to be like, oh, I texted him and he ghosted me. This is a story. Oh, it's not. Like he might have ghosted you whether he did or not. Will he talk to you at the Masters dinner? Probably, but Tiger's an ambassador of the Masters. You know what I mean, too. So it's just one of those things.
Yeah, and that was the thing about the Taylor Gooch, by the way, backed off the Ryder Cup comments. I looked it up, so just to be fair to him.
Okay.
But also
he did make him originally.
But he does make Rory a target because Rory's been the poster boy for the PGA this whole time, right? And I can't wait for full swing, especially when Rory finally said, I feel like a sacrificial lamb and all that stuff. But I think our issue has always been not with maybe Live Golf, the format, or maybe it's been with the guys who want their cake and eat it too, as you're saying, Jacques, right? Like they were in the room at TPC where, Jay said, if you go, you're out. And then they leave and then they want to come back. So they want their 100 million plus they want to take your prize money. Right. It's like, no, that's not the deal, guys. Like, that's not how it works. And I think that's the hypocrisy. That's why we've never had a problem with Brooks. We've never had a problem with Dustin Johnson. Like, those guys just came out and said, look, work less, get a little bit more. But Keith, how do you feel about it before we move on to the topic of Jason Day?
No, I loved Jacques' video yesterday on it. And it's just, you know what it is? It's another conversation in the golf world that we probably didn't need, but it was brought up. It was another, social media like post, like how many likes can we get for those comments and stuff. And it is probably going to throw a little fuel under Rory a little bit, big time, because his name's just being, like you said, Matt, his name is just being thrown in every direction right now. Cause he's been kind of quiet. He's been quiet this whole season.
Well, and he's backed off the comments. He's backed off the piff stuff. Like he's the one like saying something to Jordan Spieth about don't say something bad about piff. Like I think Rory is very much
the rumors of him going to Live is just
Chubby Chandler saying stuff like
come on, like
golf. But I said this about Rory today to somebody after watching the match last night, and Rory just on fire in the match last night. Dude is probably one of the best exhibition players out there because he doesn't think during an exhibition. He just goes out and plays golf. He gets on a golf course, he starts thinking. And I think PJ, his former caddy, did a really good job of like keeping him into different things. And I don't know if Harry does that sometimes. I think he wanted to, like, I remember him saying, I'm going to keep my own yardages, and Harry's just going to carry the bag a little bit. And I think like that, unfortunately, hurts you a little bit because you're processing, you're thinking, and you're not playing golf all the time. And I think that's the biggest downfall of Rory. He can win the things, but he hasn't proven that he can win a major in a very long time. And I think you go back to the Masters, and I just don't know if he will. He's not my favorite this year at the Masters because I just don't think that he's gonna he can process it to the fact like it's a Saturday or Sunday like claps. He was there 3 years ago, final round, nothing happened. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I want him to get it, like I do, but I don't know. Matt, I know I saw you looking at me. I don't know who my favorite is yet. Okay, I don't.
All I know
it's
is
going to change in 3-4 weeks when we do our Masters episode with teaser alert with Justin.
Yeah, but we do need Jacques' favorites. We need some Jacques favorites right now.
Yeah,
for Masters.
Yeah.
I mean, the way John has just been playing the last few years, like it's hard not to include him in that conversation. Brooks, obviously, just you root for him. Who else? And then I mean, I'm still in the Rory camp. Like I would love to see him win a Masters. Just for like the emotional release that I think all of us as golf fans would have, just to be like, finally, like, bro,
we can stop talking about it every April now.
We wanted to see that happen for so long, bro. Thank you, finally. So I would say probably those three probably are the favorites for me right now. I'm trying to think who else has been cooking.
I'll give you one favorite who's been playing decent golf. This is a segue. I like Jason Day. Jason Day plays well at the Masters, and I think his fits now with Malbon just kind of fit that place. So, your thoughts on the Jason Day Malbon kind of connection now? Because Malbon's doing some big stuff. They had the Adidas release. We have Jason Day in fits that are unique, I would say, to this era of golf fashion. So, your thoughts on the Malbon? I should put on my Malbon hat too, So, and Jason Day kind of connection.
So before we say, I'm not sponsored by Malbon or anything like that. So I don't want people I just wore the hat just because I wanted to put a hat on. So I think that it's fantastic, and he's saying all the right things as well. Like, this isn't about. It's not like, oh, I want to be a style god or like any of that kind of thing. It's more like, I just want to be different. I just want to wear what I would like to wear on the golf course. And that's what it feels more like with him. He's wearing things that he would want to wear, how he seemingly would dress in normal, real life. And I think that is what it's all about. Like, I'm on the bandwagon of like, dress how you want to dress on the golf course. And I've been on that bandwagon, and I'll bang that drum for as long as I have to. And I feel like he's been able to do that. So many of us have been indoctrinated that you have to dress and look a certain way when you play golf. You have to have a certain personality. You have to be quiet. You can't say anything. You have to do this and you have to do that. And he's helping to usher in, I feel like, a bit more of a movement where you can dress how you want, style how you want, and play the game how you want to play it. And I think that's fantastic. And Malbon is the perfect partner. They're almost like a golf version of Supreme, for lack of a better comparison.
It's a great comp.
They're really changing what golf collaboration means, what golf apparel can look like, what you can do with golf clothes, how you can wear them, how you can style them. They're really pushing the boundaries on that. Like, they're on the outsides of that conversation, and they're making golf apparel something that you can just wear and not feel like you have to be on a golf course when you're wearing it. So I think that's a big thing.
It seems like Malbon is what Tiger's like Sunday Red Vision, what he said it would be. Like, but it's not going to be. We know that with Tiger, that he's not the fashion person. Whereas Steven has really created something quite unique in this space. And he started small. He did collabs with Nike. He's done collabs with he does. I think that's really cool. There's capsules that he does, and they do through everything. I remember a couple of years ago, they had the printed on the shoes, like on the original like AM kind of ones of the Nike AM ones. And they were printing like Nike signs and other things on it. And I thought it was like, it's so different and so unique. And now what Jason is wearing is not my style, but I can respect it because I think it is just gathering more people into a space that they feel they can feel comfortable on the golf course. And I think that's the cool part. If you want to talk about growing the game, it is not Live or PGA. It is YouTube golf now, and it is fashion and getting people in there. You're wearing the We the Best Gatorade collab with DJ Khaled. That's like a great example. DJ Khaled is playing golf now and getting people involved in golf and being involved. And I think that's something that Malbon is doing. Steven did. He started out with just kind of these like, shambles and scrambles and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You played in one just recently with the Adidas one, right? And so that's kind of his bread and butter, but now they're really expanding on like what they do and how they do it in the fashion world. And I think Supreme is a great comp to that for it's Golf Supreme right now. And it's ever growing.
I think I'll say controversial here. I think he's surpassed Supreme. You've never seen Supreme sponsor a professional athlete in his space. I know it's controversial. I know. And we could all argue Supreme is not the same Supreme since VF took over. Right. Although that silver bullet Air Max DN that they did for friends and family was ridiculous. But I feel like Malbon, like I remember when he did the tie-dye polo and he was the first to bring the clapping hands back. He was the first one to bring that back. Like that was
I have that hat.
But for him to actually be able to sponsor a professional athlete, and by the way, I'll make another controversial statement.
By the way,
Charlie Hull is the better.
Yeah.
Because she was not getting like those were not good outfits that she had the last few years. They were not doing her justice. And I think Malbon, he's got a male, female. I think he's got 2 female golfers, right? I forgot.
Yeah, I think he has a guy on the he has somebody on the Champions Tour too. I think.
He had the painter's cap all the time.
Jesper Parnevik.
So look, at the end of the day, I welcome the baggier pants look. Jason Day was looking a little bit different than everybody else. I'm here for more fabric because I am an old dad. And as the great Robin Williams once said, golf is one of the few sports where a white guy can dress like a black pimp and not look bad. So look, it's a different look. Look, if everybody's wearing 5 pockets and sculpted shirts, right? Like, okay, but you all start to look the same after a while. I welcome what Jason Day did. So are you team more fabric, Jacques?
I am team more fabric. And his pants weren't even that baggy, to be fair. Like
it was the pattern.
Yeah, it was more the pattern. And if you look at some old Tiger pants,
those things with a stiff breeze, and he's 5 yards down the fairway.
Man, Tiger was a sailboat basically.
Yeah. No, I think it's interesting. It's polarizing too. That's the next debate on things, right? Like we have people in our friend group and everything that don't like it at all. And like I said, it's not for me, but maybe it could be. More fabric means more coverage for this big body. You know what I mean? So it's, you know what I mean? But it's just one of those things where it's different, but you're wearing what you want to wear. He wore something the other day, Jason did, and I was like, "That just save that for the Masters, dude. You just look like you belong at the Masters." It was like green, but like
that.
I'm intrigued to see if they do like special capsules for the majors. I'm intrigued to see what they do with their women's line. I think, like I said, I think Charlie looks great this year, and I think women's golf in general needs an upgrade on their style and their fashion because I'm tired of seeing the same like 17,000 prints with then 8 logos on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think there's something there as well. So I'm happy for them. For me too, where this always goes back to is that they do deals with Nike, in a sense. Yeah. And so we still have our baby of Nike in their world a little bit. Not as cool as like the Adidas collab. I think they actually like truly collabed on that. Yeah. Whereas it's Nike's never going to kind of do a true collab anymore, it feels like, which is
that's
another topic.
That's a different podcast.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? So it's cool.
Jacques,
it's cool for golf.
Where do you think golf fashion is headed?
I think it's headed like the Jason Day route, where people will feel more comfortable wearing what they like on the course. It's not about I don't think there's a particular style where golf is headed. I think it's more of golfers will be able to feel like they can more personalize the way they look on the golf course.
Yeah.
For a long time, golfers felt, again, like I said, golfers had to feel like they fit in, and now they don't have to feel like they fit in. They can play the game the way they play the game. They can dress the way they dress, and I think that's the key. That's the light that I'm looking to get to, so I can feel comfortable in a We the Best hoodie and Sunday red sweat shorts and play around the golf and feel just as comfortable in somebody in a pair of Dockers and a polo.
Yeah.
That part about the Sunday red shorts, we still haven't gotten Tech Fleece Nike. Like I still want a Tech Fleece golf suit before it's tired. And that brings us to our next segment, which is fire or tired. Semi-rapid fire here, Jacques.
Go.
Okay.
We're gonna give you some topics. You could say it's fire or it's tired, and then if you want to expand on it, feel free.
Okay.
First topic here, the match.
So I missed the match yesterday. I had an Adidas Harden event. They launched the Harden shoe, and so I didn't get to see the match. I saw that Rory won, and I've seen a couple of highlights, but I didn't get to see the whole thing. If it was like any of the other matches, I would say I would rather probably see it be ultra. I think it needs to be ultra competitive because like a lot of the old matches, like there was just like spankings, like almost like you got skunked kind of thing. So I think if they're going to do it, the players need to play the game of making it competitive, like play that game kind of thing. I think YouTube golfers do a great job at that. They make you understand the stakes of what's going on, even if there are no stakes. They manufacture the stakes almost like reality TV, and I feel like they need to do that for the match. Like they need to manufacture the stakes so that people stay invested throughout the whole thing, and in those empty moments, like give us something to talk about.
Yeah, Dan Rappaport said it yesterday. He was like, it almost feels better, like a much like just boil it down to a 45-minute like vignette and let it just build the suspense, cut it together. Like that's what people are kind of like wanting now. They don't in the dead space of a 3 hour. They were on like hole 16 and they still had 2 more to go, and it had been like 3 hours because there's so much dead space between moving to the next shot after, and so.
Yeah, see that's I think that's a production thing. I think that they need to be better, like knowing this is a live event, they need to be better about those empty moments. Whether that's getting a comedian or there's vignettes or you're interviewing people, they got to have interesting people in and around the match so that they have places to fill that stuff in. Because if they don't, it feels like it's just slogging along, and you're getting
two groups
at home.
Yeah. Or get 2 groups, multiple groups on multiple holes. All right, fire or tired. Here we go. Joggers.
I'm still in the jogger camp. I'm still in the jogger camp. I still think they're fired, especially with the way they're doing with materials these days. The way they can mix them up these days, everything doesn't look exactly the same. Some joggers are a little more relaxed, some are a little more tight fitting. I'm still in the jogger camp. I'm not anti-jogger quite yet.
I love it because we're launching a Rappel jogger this year. Nike is sequel. All right, Anthony Kim coming back in the desert.
That's super exciting.
Yeah.
I want to know what happened.
Did you tweet this or did someone else? Someone else said it's like without the story and without like what actually happened, it kind of just feels like you're coming back and just playing for a shit little money. Excuse my language. You know what I mean? But like, I want to know the insurance. I want to know the story.
I mean,
I know there's an insurance thing. Like the golf world doesn't know it. That's only just rumors.
I want to know. I want to know what happened, and but I don't. I just want to know what happened. It doesn't have to happen now,
right?
But I think if he's playing and whether he plays well or he doesn't, like I just think that story needs to slowly come out. I need to see him share what that experience was.
I need to see an up close interview of him. Is that really him out there?
Right.
Yeah.
And his ponytail.
The hair's different. I'll only believe it if he wears a belt buckle that's bigger than his head club.
Wait, he's got the more fabric thing. He's got the baggy shorts. It looks like he's back from like 2010. It looks like he's got the big shorts. The big socks.
Pant guy too.
Yeah, he was a baggy pant guy. Okay, so the rumor, for those of you that are maybe like newer to golf and listening to the podcast, real quick, the rumor was he had an injury. He was rehabbing the injury. He pops his Achilles. Like many professional athletes, he has an insurance policy that says if you get injured, we'll pay you X amount. But part of that was that it had to be career ending. So that means you can't play professional golf again. You get X amount of millions of dollars to just go away. And the thing is, and what grows and adds to the mystique is that he did go away. It's not like he ended his career and went into the booth like Smiley Kaufman. He ended his career and like nobody sees the dude. They just say there's a Bentley that rolls around Texas. And if you see that Bentley, it's AK inside of it. And then there's like rumors of like secret LA, Hollywood, and Texas poker games. And AK comes in with a flat bill and hair down to here. Like the mythical unicorn that is Anthony Kim after setting the birdie record at Augusta is unbelievable. The guy smashed Sergio Garcia at the Ryder Cup and just went away. He left, guys. He left at Tiger Woods. There was a there was a camp. They're doing a camp, and they're like, "What's your pre-shot? Like, what's your warm-up routine?"
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, and I'm like, he didn't laugh. You know, he kind of snickered, right? Like Tiger's like, "I do this, and that," and then Anthony Kim goes, "Yeah, I roll up in 5 minutes and I get loose."
Yeah.
Yeah, much to that effect. So, all right, sorry, that's my rant. I couldn't resist not saying the
No, that was
AK
good.
story.
No, but saying that
As
makes
I know
me
it.
think, that makes me think if he couldn't play professional golf anymore, is that why he went to Live? Because that's not professional golf.
Or
Or
does
Liv
the
is paying
contract
him
from
enough.
Liv? Yeah,
Liv is
outweigh
paying
the-
him enough to pay back the insurance company plus some, right? So,
Got it.
you know, like, you know, you hear different numbers, like it was 10 million and, you know, he just took the retirement money or something like that. But I have a signed Anthony Kim glove and I await the return. I cannot
That's
wait.
amazing. That's amazing.
It'd be interesting.
All right, cool. We got 3 more topics. Then Gumby or Keith, if you got any for him, here we go. Fire or Tire, Full Swing, the Netflix show.
Oh, fire. No question.
More
Like, they
weeks.
hooked me. They got F1 Drive to Survive hooked me.
Yeah.
And so
Yep.
now I'm watching all of them. Like, Netflix is just like, here, take my money, just give me your reality TV sports documentary shows, and that's all I need.
It's maybe the best thing that they do now, to be quite honest. Like
Yeah.
they hit those ones like perfectly. They're gonna do a Red Sox one for this year. They have the tennis one,
Yep.
and then they have others too that they're doing, and
Yeah.
it's really well done.
The
I
only
mean,
one I
and
haven't
the
watched
thing is,
the
it gets the
quarterback.
casual viewer in, right? Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't an F1 guy, now I am.
Yep.
Because but now you start to know like the schedule. Like, we know golf really well. They're going to frame these 10 episodes and they bounce around. Like, I don't know tennis that well. So when they're bouncing around in tennis, I'm like, what's going on? You know, but now we're kind of used to that like format where they bounce around and they pick the storylines and they weave it for like each
Yeah.
episode, you know, and I think that's
Good.
It's really
good.
nice.
It's good. Fire.
Yeah.
Fire for me. Give me
Yeah.
me more. Give me
Last
more.
2 from me, and they're outside the golf world. The NBA All-Star Game.
Oh, that's
You were talking competitiveness at the match.
yeah, give me a pass. That's a pass. Like,
Yeah.
they need to rethink. I think they need to rethink All-Star Weekend in general. I don't think it's exciting anymore. And I try to think of this critically. Is it because I'm older now and I don't have the same sort of anticipation that I had for NBA All-Star, or has it just gotten boring? Like, no disrespect to the guy that won the dunk contest. I forgot his name.
Mac McClung.
Matt McClung. No disrespect to Matt
G
McClung for
League.
winning the dunk
He
contest.
doesn't play on an NBA team. I just don't like that.
But
You know,
yeah,
like,
he's not an NBA player. He's not winning the dunk contest. Like, that's not, like, that doesn't excite me. Whereas Steph is winning the 3-point contest. The 3-point contest now is more exciting than the dunk contest.
Yeah.
And
and
Like,
Steph
that's-
Sabrina was a really great like show. You know, I thought
but
that
even
was
that was, I felt like that was too short. It was one round, and I was just like, wait, that's it? Like, that's what all this buildup was to that? Again, this is like, NBA All-Star Weekend is supposed to be entertaining. It's not supposed to be like a fight, a battle to the finish. It's supposed to be entertaining. So like that, Steph's got to win. Sabrina wins one. And then we get one more round, the third one, and everybody's like, oh shit. And then they do it at the same time. Kind of like that. Like, that would have made that a lot more interesting and exciting, as opposed to Sabrina going, then Steph going. It should have been a 3-round thing just to get the juices going. Sabrina's obviously got to win one. Steph's got to win one. So we have that third one. It just, I don't know. It just didn't feel like it built up to it. I was talking to my buddy about this, and we were saying that we feel like NBA All-Star Game should be kind of like Ryder Cup, where it's like a U.S. versus the international team now. Like, that's a
good idea.
That should be what NBA All-Star should be right now. So I guess tired is my long-winded answer for that quick.
I like
wrap.
it. I'm still going to offer my solution from last year. Each quarter is a game in itself. Game up to 40. First team to 40 wins. Get to the end of it. If it's 2-2, you play in overtime, a 5th quarter, and
That's
you
what NHL
actually
is
give the
doing now.
guys money.
Yeah.
Just give
NHL
them
in the
money.
same
Forget
boat.
this charity thing. I guarantee you, I guarantee you, those guys, even if they're making $30 million a year, you dangle $1 million a quarter or something on there, that they're gonna play. They're gonna play. All right, last one from me. Fire retired. Hot topic here: signature shoes, not just in the basketball world. Signature shoes.
Oh, I love them. Fire. Keep them coming. Just got to do them right. Don't be lazy. I think we've gotten really lazy with signature shoes, and that's why some of the excitement is gone. But on the flip side of that, Anthony Edwards has caused more excitement about signature shoes than anybody in a long time. So it's great to see the AE1 like cooking the way that it is.
Do you like the Harden? Now that the Harden has had its debut, since it shares design languages with the AE, which one do you like?
I like the AE1 more. I think Anthony Edwards is just like the marketing behind him, having him trash everybody else's shoe, have him being like, my shoe is the best, like that sort of energy. Like, like the guys were almost being too nice to each other about their signature shoes. Oh, no. Like Dame has a great shoe too. And Kyrie has a great shoe and KD's shoe is great too. AE was like, nah, my shoe's the best. Mine's the best of all. What are these things?
Do you feel though it's easier to have the first shoe be a hit? Because I think people liked the Luka one. People somewhat like the Ja one, right? Like Nike's got a pretty good formula for like what that first shoe is. Do you feel like the hype just dies down after the second? Like the Kai one, people are pumped about it. Do you feel like when the Kai 2 comes, like people will be like, is it hard to have a follow up?
I think that like anything, it's hard to kind of follow it up after that first impression of this is what it is. Most shoes, I'm trying to think of like most signature shoes, the second one, I can't think of one where it made an impact like the first one. It's like that first one is the big impact. The second one is kind of like, okay, we're iterating, it's still cool, and then they kind of get back on track with the third shoe.
Much like the Zion 1, the 2 lost its way. I feel like the 3 is a good shoe. Just
even you could say that about the Jordans, right? Jordan 1, great. Yeah. Jordan 2, meh. Jordan 3, great. So,
yeah.
I got one last one too. Oh no, I lost it.
I'll go.
Uh-oh.
I got one real quick. I'll let you think, Gumby, real quick. Fire retired. Tiger's new logo. I know we talked about it really quick, but his new logo.
I'll say it's growing on me.
Yes.
At first, I was kind of like, I want Frank. Give me Frank.
Yeah.
But as I see it more, I was like, okay, I'm kind of warming up to it. But I do think it depends on the lockup. I'm not a fan of the SDR. I think the actual Tiger logo, that's great. I think that's cool. And I think that works in a lot of different places. You can do it small, you can do it big, you can do a pattern with it. Like, I think that works. Whereas the SDR with the Tiger, I don't know. It just looks weird. It doesn't, I don't know. I don't know if it's the symmetry is off or the placement of the SDR is wrong.
It's always, it's a logo. Like the Tiger's a logo without wording. The swoosh, a logo. Adidas logos are 3 stripes. It's a logo. So you're throwing a little bit of lettering in there. It kind of throws it off a little bit. But I do like it just with the Tiger head, and it's been growing on me. It's Tiger. I'm gonna like anything he does. I'm sorry, but again,
Keith just wants.
No, don't be that guy.
I've been like that. I've been like that since I was when he came out, little kid, when he was wearing the swoosh. Will you miss him wearing the swoosh at all?
Yes
or no? Yes,
100%. It's even seeing him in person in the Sunday Red. It feels weird. Like, I mean, I've said it on Hard Pass before. Like, even seeing Tiger in a Raiders hat feels weird. Like, it's like,
I joke that I'm just pretending that he's just playing in a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup every time I watch him at a golf event now. Yeah, that's just what it feels like, right? It's what it feels like.
It's even then. It's like, even though we're like, we get it that he's in a uniform and everybody's wearing the same thing. It's still like that doesn't look right. It looks strange on Tiger.
Yeah. All right, good. I'm glad I turned that back around in a good way.
It came back to me. NCAA 25, Tire Fire, the new EA game.
I don't know anything about it.
So new NCAA football 25 coming out this year, actually paying athletes in the college athletic space $600. You can opt into it and then get a free version of the game. That game has like lore just as much as like AK does now. So exciting to have that back from EA. A little bit different gameplay than like Madden, but all the schools from the D1 level have opted in. So should be exciting. I know there's a big campaign with all the colleges and stuff to be like, we're in the game. So
that's awesome.
Should be
that's
interesting.
Great.
Yeah,
that's great.
So.
Sorry, I got distracted. I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome for the college kids too. And if they're paying everybody the same amount, I think that's perfect.
Yeah, and it went away because of the O'Bannon case and stuff before NIL was a thing. So good to have it back. But good to have you back too on the show, man. That was it's been awesome. I don't know if we have anything else. I think we have two shoes to score. So 2 shoes.
Jacques, we do a scoring system. We review a shoe every episode. The scoring system goes 5-0. It means perfect shoe. I wouldn't change anything about the colorway, the silhouette. I would not modify anything. 4 means good shoe. I'll pay full price. 3 means I'll wait for the outlets. 2 could have done better. And 1 absolute trash. And of course, no rookie scores. We do the decimal kind of thing. First up, we are going to be reviewing the Jordan 9.
Oh, so I want to see. I haven't seen these in person yet, but I'm interested in seeing them because they kept the midsole like true to the regular Jordan 9. So I think
that's what they've been doing since 2019, like since 2020. Everything's like back to like a true sole. The spikes of white bottom, like it is true to the 9, which had Asian influences. I believe Tinker Hatfield had been traveling through Asia. This shoe is a low top. Pretty good. I mean, it's got some like obviously it's interesting because it does have patent leather, right?
Yeah.
So it does have some vibes there.
I'm gonna say from just seeing it, I haven't seen them yet. I've been planning to try and go find me a pair. I'm gonna give it a 4. I can't give it a 5 because I haven't like played in it. But I'd love to see how they feel on feet because like my personal opinion is that the 12 low is the best Jordan golf shoe, like performance wise. I feel like it feels the best. It's the most consistent. It locks you in, like traction, the whole 9. I would say the Jordan 12 low is the best, and the Jordan 1 low is the absolute worst of them all. So I would love to see how the 9 feels on foot. I can already say it'll be better than the 1. So if it's better than the 1 and I wear those, I'm all for it.
Oh, really quick before we get Gumby, a Nick fire attire Jordan 1 golf.
Who, from me or from Gumby?
No, from you.
I'm tired of it, but
oh no, I'm not tired of it. I just wish it was better made.
Yeah, that's where the Protro, you and I are aligned. Protro's the way to go. Like you have React, you have Zoom. I think that's what makes the 12 so special is it's got double stacked Zoom in the heel and a Zoom air unit in the forefoot. And when they go true to the original, not when they were putting free soles like on the 6s. Yeah. This had a full air encapsulation, kind of like, but it didn't have a carbon fiber plate like the 11. So I'm interested to see how these perform on the course as well. So Gumby and Keith, your scores on the Jordan 9 white black, as our guy T Up with Kicks calls it, the Space Jam, because he wore it in the beginning of Space Jam.
I'm not sure about these.
I call them statue Jordans because when he was modeling the statue, that's what it was.
Yeah, clunky in a sense, and I haven't worn them, but they just feel big, right? Like they just feel not as like something as athletic to what I want in a golf shoe. But I like that they're still keeping like the midsole like traditional and whatnot. So I'm at like a 3-1 on them.
Ooh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Matt, is it lighter than the 12?
I
less
think
leather.
So.
Is it less leather?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the 12 probably a little heavier. I would say probably because that double stack Zoom and stuff. The 12 is a heavy shoe, a little bit, but cart golf. Most of us are doing cart golf, so yeah.
No, I like the first colorway that came out. I do love the placement of the Jordan logo on the side of the sole there.
Yeah.
I do like that. Yep, a lot. Really a lot. Good placement for future swoosh Nike golf shoes like the old school classics. But I'm going to give it a 3.55. Not bad.
3.55. I like that. I like that. Like
Yeah,
I feel like I
it's
could see
double
Jordan
decimal.
wearing that 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going 5-0, guys, and here's why. Because we have struggled the last few years with Nike, with Jordan retros coming out in horrible colorways and not giving us good colorways until the end of the golf season when nobody's golfing because it's muddy outside. Right. Like the controversy that was that one, which Gumby's holding the white infrared 6, right? Remember the chaos that caused because the midsole is black. You know, we had to wait. It wasn't until Eastside actually gave us something close to an Oreo. We never got the Oreo.
Right.
Shout out to Eastside for sending those. Love you guys. So
and even the 11s here, like with the wrong like sole, you know, like
but that was both. That was. But see, that's
No, I
when
know,
they
but
were.
I'm
That's when
saying-
they weren't doing the original soles. They were actually doing golf soles.
Right.
yeah.
Right. So
I got a question for you guys. So I didn't mind the free soles. So there's the free soles, there's the golf soles, and now they're doing the like traditional soles. I guess. Do you guys have a preference for one of those 3?
I'm a free guy all day
Free.
long. But it started with a TW13,
Right.
and then I wish that I was in the like forefront. I wasn't getting into the shoes as much. I had some, but I wasn't getting into much when the 1 free came out, when the 6 frees came out. Like I would have been all over those at that time, but I didn't get them. And now they're like through the roof in price. So it's not something I'm going to get. So I prefer it, but the best part about these Jordans, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12 next to me, is that it's a lock-in spiked like shoe, and that's what I like about the free, is that it's spike and flexible. So I think that's kind of like the best, you know, of both worlds is when you can kind of get the flexibleness, but with the lock-in of the spike, because sometimes on the spike list, they're really comfortable, and I love my 1s and I love my 90s, but in my AM 1s and my AM 90s, but there's still something about like that spiked and the locks in, and so I think that's kind of nice that the Jordans always have that, you know what I mean? Other than an ADG, which I think we might talk about next, the new ADG.
I feel you, Gumby, a little bit on the free sole. I've never, with the TW13s and the free sole at the bottom, I've always felt like I've been secure on the ground with my golf swing with the free sole, with the cleats in there and everything. It's just like I've never felt like the Tour Premiers and the ones I have right behind me here, the Tour Premiers and like the Victory Tour 3s. I feel like I'm sitting up a little bit higher in them. So the frees feel like I'm more attached to the ground, even with the cleated too, as well. So that's why they're my favorite.
My favorite is a modern golf bottom with a Jordan upper up to a certain number, because what I'll say is the 6 free is amazing, but this was marrying Tiger's lore, modern golf technology with, let's face it, a 6 is just an air bubble in the heel. That's all we're getting. Like it's not a shoe that you're going to walk in, right? But you put the free outsole, it becomes walkable. That's why my all-time favorite golf shoe is still the 11, because this was React, right, with Zoom Air, right? This is it was Lunarlon with React, right? So this is an amazing feeling bottom right there on the 11. So yeah, if it's me, you know, the 12 feels great because of the double stack zoom. I don't know what an 11 with a carbon fiber and air would feel like. I don't know what the 9 was. We'll find out. That's a great question.
Does that 9 have removable spikes? Are the spikes removable on that 9?
Yeah, and shout out to this is Soft Spikes. TL Kicks with Chris, works with them. Man, that looks like it's part of a molded bottom, isn't it?
Yeah,
I thought it was for a second. I was like, wait, I thought those had spikes on them. So
I'm holding them and I had to look at it. I'm like, yep, you got to see the holes. Yep, the holes. It is removable. So shout out to them and the cool grays.
Yeah, I have a few pairs that I've just destroyed. The spikes are just gone. Oh my god, here we go.
Jacques, I'm just gonna ask you to share your thoughts if you want to.
Get it is
I am
0.0.
holding the red Jordan 1 Mule Golf
I gotta
edition.
zoom it in. I'm zooming
This
in.
is
I feel like my dog when I'm trying to give him medicine, how he's just like,
you know, I got
Jack's face.
Gumby's like, he's not coming back now because of this, because of my foolishness.
He's just gonna give it a 0.1. He might be favorable.
yeah. So I'll give it 2 scores. As a golf shoe, which is what it is, I give it a 0.5.
Gotta have
As a shoe to wear around the house, I give it a 3. Give it a 3.
There you go.
Gumby.
But like I just don't understand.
Yeah.
I just want, like, truthfully, I could do this if it had like fake laces. Just give me like some fake laces over the top of it, because otherwise it just looks incomplete. It just looks like something stole something out of that, and it was just like I'm in the middle of cleaning my shoes and I lost my laces.
That's why I asked on the Instagram poll, would these be acceptable to wear socks with? Because when I saw Rocco with his bare heels out there, like I was like, oh, you're right, it does look a little weird with, you know, like, do you need black socks with it or something? But Gumby, what's your score before?
For like a summer slide, I'm just gonna go to the pool after maybe putting on the putting green, which happens, you know, like once a year. I'll give it a 2.7.
2.7.
I'm right in there with you. I was going to do a 2.4. I was a little shocked with the price too. 110 for something like that. I was thinking, yeah.
This is how much I
exactly
didn't care about these. I didn't even check what the price.
Yes.
Like I didn't even pay attention to what the price was, because I was like, this is not something I'm not spending my money on this, so I don't even have a concern about how much they cost.
Yeah.
Hot slide summer.
It just threw like
hot
a red flag
summer.
Hot clog summer.
It's a hot. The clog posit is coming back. They're making a calm clog. It's gonna be a hot clog summer, y'all. I hope you all accept it. And you know, I have 3 points to make on this. Number one, those of you that are mad that Jordan has made a bread colorway of this, hey, you know what? Usually when they do some kind of like weird silhouette like this, they give us some silly colorway. Again, give us the hits. I'm in love with the colorway. I am not letting Nike off the hook. We still want a bread 1 high or a bread 1 low in golf with laces, and even better, throw some spikes in there maybe one day. You know what I mean? So I'm not letting them off the hook for that, right? Number 2 is, this is my wife's Jordan slip right here. This is from back in the day. She's worn these to death. They've actually just brought these back. I've always wanted these shoes, but they do have a heel. Which brings me to point number 3. And Gumby, I don't know if you have it up, but I want to shout out to listener JS Always, because this is the thing, and I'm with him. It's in the description. It is not for playing golf in. It is for pre-round, post-round, and going to the driving range. Like, there is nothing in the description that says go play 18 in these monstrosities. Go stun on people. And guess what? You know why I love these? Because, public service announcement, too many of y'all have been walking around in sandals after your round, showing off those nasty-ass toes and those cracked-ass heels. All right? And that's why I'm saying, y'all, if your heels ain't right, you better wear socks with this. Like, don't think I'm absolving you. And that's 5-0 for me.
5-0 for you.
5-0? Holy shit.
Can we put out an application?
I can't end a rant like that with a 4-2-3, right? Like,
I don't understand. Like, you understand what a 5 means, right? Like, you understand.
Okay. I'm going. Okay. Probably 379. I'm 379 because I think the white colorways of these will work better for most folks, but yeah, I dig weird. I dig weird stuff, and this is weird
too. I like I have more ISPA shoes than I probably will ever wear. I'm all into the weird. That's not weird. That's just like a bad execution. That's bad execution. Yeah. It's like somebody was like, the brief was like, let's make a Jordan Stop. We don't want to see your calf muscles. They were like, let's make a golf shoe.
I think, like you said earlier, it feels like lazy in a sense. You know what I mean? It just feels like something is amiss. Like what are we doing, Nike, right now? You know, like, and we're here to spin positive fun and be the champions of Nike, but we also need to be critical in moments of this when you're putting out a Jordan 1 clog. You know, like
if they would have just released that as, hey, we're gonna make a Jordan slide, I think everybody would be like, oh, cool, okay, cool. Like, and it could look just like that. It's like a Jordan slide. Okay. But I think to put golf, like to force golf onto that, like it's almost like they were like,
this is the golf bottom.
Yeah, it's like they forced golf onto that for no reason. Like there's no reason that should be golf. Just make a shoe like, oh, it's a Jordan 1 slide. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
And I can wear
Is
that.
Jordan pulling up in that to the Grove?
Round,
you know what
and
I mean?
I'd be fine.
They had a lot of leftover bottoms, a lot of leftover soles.
Yeah.
What a time! What a time,
Oh,
Jacques. What have you been up to? As we round out this episode, you've been more than gracious with your time on a late night here. You've been amazing. We saw you on Golf Channel, PGA stuff. Man,
the cut, baby.
That was sweet. I watched that. That was great.
Thank you guys for watching. So I am the host for the signature event for the cut, which is super exciting for me. They allow me to kind of bring my own flavor to it, and add some personality to it, a literal personality, and a host to the show, which is really fun. It's been really exciting. I'm headed to Orlando next week for API, so that should be a lot of fun. So you'll see me on the cut just for the signature events for now. The hope is that things continue to escalate and we can do more, and you can do more with them. But it's been really exciting. It's a very fun show to do. I'm at the tournaments that I want to go to. Basically, I have a cool pass that I can get past the gates and stuff. So that's always fun. I feel like a legitimate golf personality. Like they're welcoming me into the fold, which has been really exciting. But it's great. It's a big step, I think, for me, and a big step for the PGA Tour. Like they haven't had someone from my world, our world, I should say, in that's on their broadcast and on the YouTubes for them. And this is an opportunity for our two worlds to meld. And the last few episodes, I think, have been a good example of that, of them staying true to their traditional audience, but me being there to help reach a broader audience and really bring them into the fold as well. And we really benefiting each other, the tour and myself, just benefiting each other, bringing me into the golf world and giving me exposure to their world, and me bringing them into my world and giving them exposure to my world. We're doing the full Monty, we're cross posting, I'm telling stories for them, they're telling stories for me. It's really a blend of the two worlds in a way that we haven't really seen the tour do, which is really exciting for me because I think there's room for that, and they believe that there's room for that as well, which is why I think it's working so well.
That's great. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, absolutely love it. And let's not wait another year to do this again. This has been amazing.
No, hey, whenever you guys need me, I'm available. As long as there's not mules involved in the conversation, I'm here.
Remember to go follow Jacques on X, or formerly Twitter, at Kustoo, and at Kustoo on Instagram for all things sneakers, tech, and golf. It says bacon in his X bio too, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm a lover. I am a lover of bacon.
So,
I'm a bacon man.
Is this the impossible bacon for you?
Oh, all right. I think we've talked enough today, guys.
And also remember, become a supporter of the podcast by going to patreon.com/the Swoosh Life Podcast. This has been a banger of an episode. Very excited. This will go out to everywhere that you can subscribe. Watch us on YouTube, follow, subscribe on YouTube. And any final words as we sign off here, Jacques?
Just be nice to people and be grateful that we've made it this far. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well said. For the Swoosh Life Podcast, been Matt, Doc, Keith, and Gumby. See you in the next one. Bye. Make sure you follow us at the Swoosh Life Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. And support us by going to patreon.com/Swoosh Life Podcast or at podcasters.spotify.com. And make sure you're watching us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Swoosh Life Podcast. And always listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. Swoosh Life Podcast.
Checks over stripes, yeah, that's what I like. Yeah. That's what we like. Yeah.